How's it going, YouTube? My name is Blake Yarbrough and welcome back. Today we've got an early look at a shoe that holds a very special place in my heart, the LeBron 8 V2 Miami Nights. Now, before we get into the full review of this LeBron 8, I wanted to show you some other early shoes that I've had here, which is the Dusty Olive Nike Dunk Low. Guys, the quality on these is insane. When you're watching this video, they've either already released or they're about to release, but this shoe right here, the quality is amazing. I showed them on Instagram, which is what I want to talk to you guys about. So this shoe right here I had early, and also I had the Ambush Dunk shoe early as well. Now these are really, really nice as well. The quality is impeccable. The leather on these, the detail on these, Ambush absolutely killed this collab. Of course, we've got the blue patch there on the tongue, the extra laces attached. Now this pair I hit on sneakers today. So these released today and I hit on sneakers, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about because I'm going to be selling those for retail to somebody that follows me on Instagram. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. Link is down in the description. I'm going to be going for all sneaker releases that you guys want me to go for, and I'll be selling them to you guys for retail. And the reason behind me doing that is just to give back. I've got pretty good luck on sneakers. I'll show my sneakers history. I've got pretty good luck, and honestly right now there's not a whole lot of shoes that I want for my personal collection, and so I'd like to use maybe my luck to help you guys out and just go for shoes that you guys would want to get in your size. And so this is one that I hit size 11. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I will be selling that pair once they come in to somebody that follows me on Instagram. So it's a good opportunity. If you missed out on a shoe, I'll try to help you guys get them. But anyways, let's get into this review because this review is one that it might be the most excited I have been for a sneaker review this year. And this is the LeBron 8 Miami Nights. Now this is a V2 version of the LeBron 8. And when these released, I actually worked at Finish Line. I was a manager at Finish Line, but I started as a stock associate. So I was a stock guy, and then I was a salesperson, and then I moved up into the management role. And this is one that it released when I worked at Finish Line, and this is one that I was never able to get my hands on. I've had a lot of LeBrons in my collection over the years, and this is one that was just way too much money at the time. These were only released in Miami, and they were super expensive. They still are. If you look up the 2011 pair on StockX, the 2011 pair is still going, I think, for over $1,000. So, and I think at the time when the LeBron hype was like at its peak, which to me I would say would be right around the LeBron 10, that was like the LeBron peak. These were, I think, like $2 to $3 grand. These were insane, very, very exclusive, and the colorway is just super sick. Unfortunately, I think the year that these released, he didn't win the championship, but if he did, these would have been even more. But also I wanted to highlight something that matters to me, which is the box. Now typically the boxes aren't really that impressive. They kind of lost that with the LeBron line, I think, over time, but this is like nostalgia.com for me. The box is so sick. You've got LeBron on the front with the lion as well, and then on the back you've got LeBron 8 V1. Now this is a V2. I guess they just didn't change the box for that. I don't really remember that detail. And then the other really cool thing about these is on the inside, it's the paper. Now this might be a little hard to pick up on camera, but we'll do our best. So on the paper You've got LeBron throwing the chalk into the air. Hopefully Nick can pick that up. It's super sick though. Maybe if I show it this way, actually, you might be able to even see it better. Super sick. Like, this detail is super sick. I always like when Nike goes above and beyond, does a cool box, cool paper. It just is nice to see, and it's really nice to see that on a retro, 10 years later, they went back to the vintage box. So we'll get the box out of the way and go back to the shoes. Now this shoe right here, again, like I said, released originally in 2011, extremely limited, couldn't ever get my hands on these, and it looks like Nike is going to continue re-releasing the popular LeBron 8 lows, which would be like these, the Sprites, the Solar Reds. I even really like the Wolf Gray pair that came out. So I know the Sprite pair is already loaded up onto the sneakers app, and I'm so excited that Nike is doing this. This era, the LeBron 7, 8, 9, 10, is the best to me. 7, 8, 9, 10 is the best. I would argue that maybe 9 and 10. 8, I don't know, 8's so good. 8's so good. These are some of my favorites. And I want to show you guys some of the details on these, talk about what they did to make these so comfortable, because this is one of the most comfortable LeBrons, I think, for sure, is the LeBron 8. And so let's go ahead and just dive right into the details. I think the best place to start on these is this bright outsole. Now this is called Solar Red. It's more of like a bright pink or mango color. I can see it actually reflecting off the lens of the camera, which is insane. But this is Solar Red, and you've got that full air unit on here, which makes these super, super comfortable. Now at the time, 2011, Nike had been running the full air unit on some of their running shoes for a couple years, but they hadn't, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think that they had put it into a performance basketball shoe yet. And I think the LeBron 8 was the first shoe to feature that. And the idea was to make it as comfortable as possible for LeBron because he's a big guy. So that is an interesting detail on this shoe. And we've also got like this clear window right here with the lion, which looks amazing. Like, that was always a really sick detail to me on this pair. And then you've got the 8 there in the heel to signify that this was his 8th model. And I think the details over time have just gotten lost in the LeBron line. I'm not going to drag on about it, but I think they need to go back to things like this for LeBron sneakers because it's lost like the performance and lifestyle factor. Now all of his shoes are just based on performance. Definitely not wearing any of the new LeBrons out anywhere. So I would like to see Nike and LeBron kind of figure that out where they could go back to something like this, but we'll keep moving on. You've got a white midsole here, and then you've got this really wild upper, which is like this speckled kind of spray paint spackle look, and it's got a gradient to it where it starts with like a Solar Red here in the heel, and then it moves to like a black, and then you've got white and like an aqua or teal here in the midfoot, and then moving towards the toe you've got more of that aqua and then some Solar Red there in the toe as well. So this is a shoe that really, show you guys the other side as well, this is a shoe really that was just insane at the time as far as the materials and the upper and just the whole colorway. It wasn't something Nike had really done before, and it was something that really drew everybody's attention because the shoe that preceded this was the LeBron 8 Preheat, or the LeBron 8 South Beach is the more popular name. So that shoe had already come out, and that really, in my opinion, was like the first shoe that made pink laces like really, really popular. And so to add this shoe with the Solar Red and then like this Solar Red or pink on the upper, you've got pink there on the toe with the LeBron logo. This shoe right here amplified the South Beaches, in my opinion. It really, really put like pink on the map. And then this shoe, the colorway overall definitely has a Miami vibe. The South Beach vibe is so evident in this sneaker. So I think that's something that's just so unique. It's so nostalgic for me because I was collecting shoes at this time. And then you've got like that same Solar Red here on the lace tips or on the aglets, and then they say LeBron on one and 8 on the other. And that's just another thing. The details that they used to put into the LeBron line was so nice. We're going to talk about some more as well. Now this pair right here came from GOAT, and I've been trusting GOAT a lot lately to purchase sneakers in general, even early sneakers. And so my buddy Aaron actually picked these up early. He let me borrow them for a video, so shout out to Aaron for letting me use these. What's up guys, wanted to take a second and tell you about today's video sponsor, which is Legitmark. Now Legitmark is the premier authentication app for your sneakers, for your grails. They have two different types of authentication services. They have a quick one, which is the standard, Legitmark standard, and they've also got a Legitmark concierge. Now the cool thing about Legitmark is you get 2 or 3 private authenticators for every single legit check that you run through their app. You're able to talk to the team that is legit checking your sneakers 24/7, so you can actually have a conversation with the people that are checking your shoes. I think that's amazing. And the other cool thing that I really like about it is that they actually give you details and reasoning on why your shoe is either authentic or fake. And so I think that's really crucial. I think that's something cool that Legitmark is doing, and it's the reason why I wanted to highlight it as today's sponsor. Now the link to the app will be down in the description below. You can use code Blake25 for 25% off a Legitmark standard authentication, and you can use code Blake50 for 50% off a Legitmark concierge authentication. Guys, check them out. I think it is the premier authentication app. I see them taking over the game with authentication. I wanted to highlight them and shout out to them for sponsoring today's video. All right, let me show you some other details on this sneaker that I think you have to see. They do come with an extra set of laces. You've got a white set of laces here, and the interesting thing is that the lace tips or the aglets are opposite colors. So they did a reverse. So this one you've got like a solar red with that aqua or teal color. This one's aqua or teal with the text in that solar red. It's a nice touch, just like a little bit different. And then the other thing that's really cool on these is that on the back of the tongue you've got a patch, and this patch was on all the LeBron 8s. This one says designed and engineered to the exact specifications of Mr. LeBron James, and then below that you've got an 828. And so the cool thing about this, I think, is it's kind of an ode to Jordan, because Jordan has that similar patch on the inside of a lot of his shoes. So I think that's kind of cool. I think LeBron totally respects Michael, and so when these released, I thought that was a really cool nod to Jordan, I think, as far as like this shoe is designed for LeBron. So that's something that's really neat that they kept on this shoe. You've got, of course, the lion really nice and large behind the mesh on the tongue, and that's in that same solar red colorway. This is just so cool to have these early in hand, and I'm gonna be trying to get a pair of these for myself as well. And then some of the other things I wanted to point out is you've got the LeBron signature here on the heel in solar red with a Nike swoosh below it. That's nice. You've also got kind of like a pull tab. I don't know if this would be considered a pull tab, but the heel counter does kind of have this part that protrudes out that's totally separated from the actual heel of the sneaker. And the sock liner on this shoe is very, very padded, which makes them super comfortable, very easy to wear, whether you're playing basketball, maybe not a low top, but playing basketball, or also just wearing these as a lifestyle sneaker. This is a very comfortable shoe. And the V2 version, I don't know that I mentioned it earlier, this is a V2 LeBron 8, and what that means is that they re-engineered this shoe to be lighter for the playoffs or for the postseason. And so they used like a different hyperfuse material here on the toe, as well as different fly wire and things here on the upper, and the whole purpose was to make it lighter for LeBron in the postseason. So I think they also changed the tongue. Maybe this is like a more open mesh tongue to make it lighter and more breathable as well. You've got white leather that surrounds all the eyelets here to add reinforcement for the laces. Again, the pink LeBron James there right there at the toe, really nice. The fly wire is written in pink here on the inside or medial side of the foot. Just little details. There's tons of little details on this sneaker. You can look at the sneaker for 30 minutes and find something new to point out. And I'd love to know your opinion as well. Is the LeBron 8 Miami Nights a shoe that you're going for? Based off resale prices, I would say not that many people are on these, which is awesome for me, because if I don't get a W on sneakers, then I will be paying resale for these. So I love that resale is already well below $300 in my size. And I think that's something that's really interesting that I'll touch on for just a second, is that shoes like this that hold so much historical value. This shoe right here, when this released, it was so limited and everybody wanted to have these. If you had a pair of these, this would be like having the Travis Scott Fragment Jordan 1s now, or the newest Off-White. Like, this was the shoe to have at the time, and obviously things change, but to me this is still one that should drive a pretty high price, but it's not. It's below $300, which is cool. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying that I want it to be more expensive, but I think it is interesting to see how the styles change now that I've been collecting for over a decade, to see how styles change and how that directly correlates with the prices on the resale market. So shout out to everybody not wanting to buy these, I guess, I'm definitely going to be picking up 1 or maybe 2 pairs, and I'm looking forward to more LeBron 8 colorways, and then hopefully that transitions next year into the LeBron 9. Another little interesting detail to show you guys is right here around the eyelets. They actually did a little design to make it look like a number 8. That's pretty cool. And then I wanted to show you guys the insole as well, because it is a nice insole in this sneaker. Pull it out. So this one right here is a nice thick foam insole, thicker than the typical insole you'd have in a shoe like this, and the entire insole is perforated. You've got holes that you can actually see all the way throughout the insole. You've got this nice leather patch. Now this is something that's just a nice detail. It's not screen printed, it's actually a patch that's stitched onto the insole, and it says witness. So that's something that I think is just really neat, that they kept true to the original shoe, but you've got that solar red insole, really nice detail. And this is one that I think should be just going crazy right now, and it's not. It's such a nice sneaker, but for whatever reason they're just not reselling as high as I thought they would. And with that, guys, that is going to wrap up today's review on the LeBron 8 V2 Miami Nights. Let me know your opinion down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, follow me on Instagram. I will be helping you guys get some sneakers for retail, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and we're on to the next sneaker.